Happy Saturday, everyone. I hope everyone is doing well. Happy Saturday. So, y'all bear with me. I have to go and get lyrics and Simperica Trio. So, I have to go to the vet. And then from the vet, got to go to this brunch. The other half is working today. So, I hope you all are doing well. I am doing extremely well. It's a beautiful Saturday. What's up, Catherine Powell? It's a beautiful Saturday, and I don't have nothing to talk about. I'm just coming here to be with you all. Mm, Drinking my Ethiopian coffee, which is extremely good. And that's about it, you all. Um, don't really know what's going on in the beef sector because we were out last night. And yeah, got a little rest and went out. And I am back, but I hope you all are doing extremely well. I heard a few people are bothered and upset, and I hope you get over it. I hope something happens in your life that will inspire you. That's all I got to say. Well, look, y'all, I'm at the vet. Give me a quick minute. I'm going to get my Simperica Trio. Ooh, that's a beautiful dog. Is that a Doberman? Beautiful dog. Oh, my God, that may be a Doberman. Oh, no. No, 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 no. That is actually a Rottweiler. Okay. So y'all give me a minute. Whose interview? Who has a big interview? Who has a big interview? I'm oblivious. Y'all give me a minute. I'm going to get this dog medicine. I'll be right back. Give me a minute. Who's having a big interview? Okay, I'll be right back. Somebody have a big interview. Oh shoot. Let me get this key. Dwayne, I'll be back. Did anybody big man okay? I'll be back. All right, you all. I am back. I do apologize. I had to get Lyrics medication. Right. Now I'm heading on to brunch. And I hope you all are doing well. Hey, CDP, what's up? Everybody who just came in. I'm just getting on in. So who's having an interview, you all? What's going on in the sector? So, like I said earlier, I haven't really been on to do a whole lot because I have to get this portfolio together for this new position. And so I didn't think anything of it last year, but maybe a week ago, um, I was sent an email saying that, hey, we want you to fill this questionnaire out for this position. And I'm in leadership now, but this is a lot of responsibility. And so this is why I'm saying I may not be on YouTube as much, and I may have to do something different. Um, the higher up you go in areas, then you just have to fall back. And even though I like the YouTube and the beef sector, it's not worth this opportunity. So I gotta really make some decisions, and um, yeah, yeah, because I know what the beef sector is about, and I'm not leaving because I want to go, but sometimes it's a necessity, and sometimes you got to do what you got to do. And I always said if I was going to have to depart, it's going to be because I wanted to, and not because someone made me to. And so I guess that's what's going on now. But yeah. So has anyone heard from Big Man TV? Now, just because somebody said he is no longer with us, I don't believe that, because people will put that on a lot of people. So yeah. So hopefully Big Man TV is okay. Last I heard, Max Boogie said she spoke to Big Man TV and keep him in prayer because he may not be doing too well. Now, let me say this to you all. Let me be honest and clear and candid with you all. Even though I don't know these people personally, even though that this is a show, people's lives are real, and people have feelings and people have family. And so when it gets to the point where people are really struggling or going through, I really try to be sensitive about that kind of stuff. It's not all that deep with me. I don't hate people. I do know that this season that I have blocked people. I have really pulled away from people because they don't bring any value. And you got to really watch people who have, yeah, you just got to watch people in this season, and you can't be paranoid. But when people keep doing the same thing over and over and over and over again, then you move on and you let them continue to do it, but you let them do it by themselves. Okay, they say he takes breaks often. Well, that's good. And I'm glad Big Man is doing that. He really needs to take breaks often, especially being in this sector. And don't get me wrong, y'all, the sector is tough to some people. If you really take what these people say to heart, then you will be hurt and emotionally drained. So you really gotta take people with a grain of salt and keep it moving. You all, the weather is going to be 84 degrees in San Antonio today. It's already 72 degrees. So, yeah. Hi, Diamond Dory. How are you doing today? How are you doing today? Diamond, they said that you've been pregnant now for about 13 or 14 months. Girl, why they messing with you? Huh? Why they messing with you? What's up, Jay Parrish? So I see that YouTube cameras came on today. I didn't get a chance to watch her. Didn't get a chance to watch me. I didn't get a chance to watch anybody. So again, I think I'm slowly weaning myself out of here because yeah, I'm doing well. Yes, they all will never know after you had the baby because you're gonna keep it real hush hush. I know. Just like me and my man ain't together. I get you, Dory. I got you. I got you. Mm. Ooh, this coffee is good. So it is Black History Month, and you know, I do want to talk about Barack and Michelle Obama. You cannot tarnish their reputation or image. If you don't know, Donald Trump had Barack and Michelle Obama as apes, really trying to degrade, downplay, and disregard their contribution to the United States. And again, if people feel this way about the best of us, then how do you think they feel about the rest of us? And I'm not saying that they're no better, but they were more they had a profile. Barack Obama was the first um, acknowledged, recognized, embraced black I'm back, you all. It's going to be one of those days today, I swear. Hold on. All right, I'm back. It's going to be one of those days today. So, what's happening in San Antonio is they're doing a lot of construction on these roads. And every time I get into a construction zone, I have issues with the internet. So, please forgive me, bear with me. But as I was saying before, the situation happened and the internet went down. Um, Barack Obama has been one of the most effective presidents in the United States. Not only is he well spoken, not only is he attractive, not only is he smart, but he has a smart wife. We did not hear a lot of hoopla concerning Sasha and Malia Obama. They went through school and they went through college. You're still not hearing a lot about them now because they have really kept a low profile. Unlike the Bushes, we knew that the Bush daughters were drinking like crazy, but we didn't have that issue with the Obamas. We saw black family in action when Michelle's mother came to the White House to help raise the girls. So again, we've seen this. We've seen this. We saw the fashion forwardness of Michelle Obama, not afraid to wear sleeveless um, clothing and things that were really nice, very fashion forward, classic clothing. Michelle showed class and elegance and intelligence. Both of these people are Harvard grads. He was over the Harvard Law Review. So you have very intelligent African American or black people. And you look at Barack Obama's presidency. He took Osama bin Laden out. He brought our economy from the brink. He was phenomenal. And the man could do no wrong. He hired the right people. And it really seemed like he was concerned about us. Yeah, you can say a lot of things about Barack Obama, but you couldn't say that he was cheating on Michelle. You couldn't say that he was involved in the Epstein situation. You don't find him wrapped up in a whole lot of controversy. Now, was he perfect? No, he was not perfect. But we know that Barack Obama got a lot of things done, even when he had uh, a congressional house, the Republicans who were dead set against him. But he still made things happen. So for Donald Trump to even try to debase, downgrade, and dismiss Barack Obama's accomplishments by pulling that stunt of depicting he and his wife as gorillas, it's downright despicable, uncalled for. He needs to apologize. This is a president, a darn good president. We've seen that everything that Barack Obama has done, this man has tried to take away. He really doesn't have, and I'm talking about Donald Trump now, he really doesn't have any accomplishments. He's pretty much everything he's touched has been divisive and destructive for the American people. And it is Black history. And Barack Obama made Black history. Michelle Obama made Black history. And it was almost like another Camelot era with those two lovely, civic conscious people in public office. Donald Trump is like a lot of people in the beef sector. They really don't have any accomplishments, but yet they may have some power. And with the power they do have, their whole goal is to diminish, to discredit, and to divide the people in the sector. And I see the same thing with Trump and what he's doing. He's very insecure. If you don't say anything nice about him, he has issues. He doesn't like people to criticize him because he has a fragile ego. And it says a lot about him. It really does. But I see the same thing in our sector. This is why I laugh. When you all try to send me stuff, I just delete it. Because I do know that you have people who are really not secure in themselves, in their real life. I'm not talking about this YouTube beef sector stuff. I am talking about in their real lives. They are struggling. They suffer with mental health issues. They struggle with food insecurity. They struggle with health issues. The amount of dental issues in this sector is mind-boggling. When you don't take care of your teeth, and you all, a lot of these people are just coming out of Arrested Development. Things that adult people have done already, these people are extremely excited because they're just doing it. I lived in an apartment since I was in college. So I lived on my own since high school. I have always had a car, and I have always paid for car insurance. I don't know what it is to have a car repossessed or a home foreclosed on. I don't know what it is to be evicted from an apartment. Not saying that you are a bad person if you've had that. But what I'm trying to say is when you're in your 30s and you're still grappling with that, you got to ask yourself the question, what is really going on? And it's not thinking you're better than other people. It's actually asking the question, what choices are you making? Where were you and what mindset you were in when you were making these decisions? Did you think long term? This person said Jay Wilson Ghetto said he got way more money than you. Let me say this about Ghetto. I'm not worried about what Ghetto has. What Ghetto has nothing to do with me. And what I don't have to do is compare myself to other people. So what if Ghetto has more money than me? That doesn't diminish who I am. And I'm satisfied with my career. And see, one thing I don't have to do is sit around and tell people that I make more money than somebody. That's some juvenile shit. But again, that's what some people do. Do you think I care about what Ghetto make? He ain't my man. So why should I care about his income? I think it's funny to me. But wherever my income bracket is, I'm extremely satisfied with it. And my worth is not wrapped into all of this other foolishness. Let me tell y'all something. All of this stuff can be gone tomorrow, but I still know who I am. You can take all of this junk, but I still know who I am. And I challenge Ghetto to get some permanent fixtures in his mouth, because I can't understand a man with such a vast amount of wealth and all of these resources, but cannot invest in his mouth. And one thing I can say is I have all of my teeth. These are all of my no partials, no veneers, no baby. These are mine. And see, while people are worried about what I have or don't have, I can tell you I have all my teeth. I can tell you I have all of my teeth, and they're healthy. I can tell you that. So again, I find it quite odd and juvenile even that a man is comparing himself to someone and he boasts and brags of all of this wealth that he has amassed, but yet is poor when it comes to oral health. And Ghetto, you may need one of them GLP ones, because baby, you looking real chunky over there. And I know how it feels, Ghetto, because you know you think you the bee's knees, but you looking real chunky over there. So get to that gym and take a GLP-1, because you really looking chunky over there, and you eating a whole lot of greasy food. I'm just saying. See, those are the things you need to be worried about. Because baby, ghetto is ballooning up. And don't get me wrong, I know how it is. But see, instead of focusing in on what I'm doing, focus in on your own health. Let's start with getting some permanent teeth. We're in a new season. We're in a new year, Ghetto. And you are so wealthy. I know you have health insurance. And I know you can carve out some time to get some permanent fixtures in your mouth. We shouldn't have to wait for you to put your teeth in to be able to talk. We shouldn't have to do that. We shouldn't have to hear you talk like Sylvester on Looney Tunes, the spitting cat. What's up, Demaya? We shouldn't have to do that. And then also, since you got all of this money, invest in a personal trainer. Because right now, it seems like you're out of control. Yeah, you're looking real sloppy right now. Just say it. A fat, toothless man is not cute. You have a chance at least if you're slim. Moving right along. Can I say there's always somebody who's going to have more money than you? There is always someone who's going to be more charismatic than you. There's going to be someone who is better at something than you are. But what do you bring to the table? What's unique about you? And the money that I bring in, I'm satisfied with. I don't have alimony to be paying, and I don't have child support to be paying. I just think it's really interesting. But this is why my business is private, because, yeah. But anyway, I thought that was interesting. But thank you for telling me that. I didn't know Ghetto was that into watching me and concerned about my wealth or my lack of it. I didn't know that. I wish him the best. So I want you to invest in your mouth. And I want you to invest in a personal trainer. That's what I want you to do. Since you have all of that money, put your money where your mouth is, literally. Put your money where your mouth is. What else is going on? Who else is hating? Who else got something derogatory to say? Line up. Line up. And I can't understand for the life of me, since I am a relic, since I am irrelevant, but you all continue to watch. And it just never ceased to amaze me. What's up, Kena? Oh, I mean, he is who he is. It is what it is. I don't have a problem with these people. I don't really know these people. And this is a show. And that's why it really doesn't matter what people think. Because, see, people are not my personal banker or my accountant. That's number one. Number two, I'm not in a relationship with these people. I'm not behind the scenes with these people. And yeah, so you all can feel some kind of way when they say something. I don't, because I really don't know them. And this is a show. And I'm not losing sleep over what somebody thinks or feels about me. That ain't my problem. And it shouldn't be yours either. And you're right, Catherine. I don't know these people. And the people who I know, I'm not in competition with. Hold on for a minute, y'all. I got to do something. Give me a hot minute. All right, I'm back. But let me tell y'all something. Stop comparing yourself to other people. I don't know how they obtained their wealth. I don't know what they're doing to maintain it. And it's not my business. But on the same token, it would be stupid of me to argue with this man about who has what. First of all, that's private. And again, unless we're in a relationship or unless we're going into business together, I don't see why that's a major issue. But people will make that an issue. So for the mere fact he said that, I'm surprised. But it is what it is. So I guess nothing is really going on in the streets when people are struggling to the point that they're trying to compare my income to theirs. That's some deep stuff. And like I said, you all, I take no offense that people say negative things, because that's what negative people usually do. And if you don't understand that this is a show and I really don't know you personally and don't have anything against you personally, then you got a problem. And a lot of people have problems on here because, they really take this seriously. It's like their life. I'm going to Zara's today. So as soon as I leave brunch, I'm going to head on to Miss Zara and see what she's got going on. And then we have another appointment. It's a busy Saturday today. It's a pretty busy Saturday today. So let me say this to Bree, Pizarro, and Lady Nika. I understand that sometimes you want to do something different because this gets old and the people who you fight with, not even worth your time. So I'm not mad at you about exploring new paths, new content, and I'm not mad. You get to the point where you can only dumb down so much. You can only dumb down so much. And if I gotta go on your platform to look at you and to see where your imperfections are to make you feel bad, then you don't have much. And I'm very serious. It is Black History. And I do want peace in the world. And I can understand we can be shady and we can do a lot of things. But again, in reality, I don't hate anybody on this platform. Now, what I have made the decision to do is to not give people access to me who don't deserve it. And that should be in real life too. Should be in real life as well. So yeah. Well, I'm gonna drop this link, y'all. This traffic is so bad, but I am heading to brunch right now, and I really don't have a lot. I really don't. I have not been keeping up with what's going on. Who has had a lemon issue or a goosey issue? I just haven't really been keeping up. Now, I did see that Envy has been over here dropping down a couple of times, and yeah. Hey, do what you got to do. I'm not vying to be the king of nothing, the prince of nothing. I'm just here to do a show. Okay, Detroit, I know you got. Hey, Mayor, did they sell out all of the items at the store? I know you probably wasn't able to get in because they said that everything will probably be wiped out of that store. That store was extremely, extremely popular. So yeah. Hold on for a minute. Let me put my banner up. No slight to you, but for safety reasons, I'm putting up my banner. Hey, what's up?
What up, though?
Hey, what's going on, man? What's going on? What's happening?
Oh, nothing much. Thanks for having me up. Hey, I can understand, like you said, you can't never be too careful around here, especially with everything that's going on. But
What's going on?
oh, that's just it's just crazy how everybody hates if you from a different sector or whatever sector you from. You got people taking down people's pages. You got people flagging, and then pretty soon, what's gonna happen is that you're not gonna have nobody to even watch anymore. You know what I'm saying?
I've been saying that. I've been saying that. Now, let me say this, you all. Mayor is not beef sector, but Mayor can come onto my platform because ever since Mayor and I have interacted, the Mayor of Detroit has always been um, respectful.
Yes.
Respectful. And
Yes.
so, again, a lot of the people from the other sectors, we don't get along because they're disrespectful. And when you're disrespectful to me, then I don't give you access to me. And I mean, and that's period. So Mayor is not beef sector, but Mayor and I have no issue, and he can come on up. Room Shaker the same way. I know some people don't like Room Shaker, but Room Shaker has never been disrespectful. So yeah, so go ahead, Mayor. So what's going on, man? They sold out, man. I know that they said that store it was so popular that they probably don't have nothing. I mean, they said they've been having lines ever since they made that announcement.
Man, I'm telling you, I went down there several times, and each time I went down there, it's been lines out the door. You talking about
Yeah.
like 2, 3 hour wait just to get inside. And I'm like, man, it is. So I've been looking to it. I found another store that I'm gonna go to. It's in Birmingham, Michigan, which is like right outside of Detroit. I want to say like about a 15, 20 minute drive. And I heard they got better prices. So and plus by it's about to start to get warm, they definitely about to have another sale. So
Okay.
I'll definitely keep you
Keep me
posted on
informed,
that.
Mayor. So,
Yeah, I'll
Mayor.
definitely keep you.
So,
Yes.
Mayor, why now? I heard, and I'm not too sure, Mayor, because I haven't been really checking. But let me give you an example of jealousy, envy. Do you all not know that people are so envious that the mayor retired from, was it Ford, General Motors?
Yes.
Which one?
Forward.
Ford.
Yep. I
So the mayor retired from Ford. He got a CDL, started driving, and the mayor is just doing a whole lot of things. Now, I'm sure the mayor could retire and, live comfortably with what he has, but it seems like the mayor is a young guy and he wants to continue to work because, again, he wants to have purpose in his life and, things to do. But that doesn't make mayor a bad person. But mayor has been called gay. Mayor has been called a lot of things, but let me run down this resume. Mayor served, if I'm not mistaken, did you serve your country?
Yes, I did 7 years in the Marine Corps.
So Mayor served his country. Mayor worked on a job that he can retire and is still working because he wants to, not because he has to, because he wants to. People hate on the mayor. I ain't gonna ever hate on nobody who's doing their thing. I'm sure the mayor is making, some money. But what the mayor is making and what the mayor is bringing home is his business. I'm not in a relationship with him. I'm not his brother or his relative. He's just a YouTube subcontractor. So that's why I go with that. Because, mayor, I'm telling you, I don't know what's going on, but the less that I attack people and scale back, the more intense these people are. And it's really amazing to me because when you don't fight with them, it seems like it upsets them even more because I guess you're not giving them attention. What's your thoughts on that?
Well, For one, like I said, I had somebody, like I said, everybody know that I did 30 years of Ford. I have no problem with saying that. I'm proud of it because, like you said, a lot of people can't even say that they've been at their job for 10 years, let alone doing 30. You know what I mean? Um, I did a year of over the road truck driving, and I changed that up. So now I'm a diesel technician. I recently got a promotion. I got a raise. Um, I transferred to a different location, and I'm closer to home, making more money. You know what I'm
And
saying?
this is the thing, Mayor, how old are you?
I'm a year older than you. I'll be 57 this year.
So Mayor, I'm 55. I won't be 56
Okay.
until March. But Mayor
Okay.
and I are in the same generation. And
Yes.
Mayor has been on the job less than a year and already got a promotion. Again, this is what Gen X does. And this is why we
Yeah.
don't have shit to prove to any millennials,
Nope.
any Gen Zs,
Nope.
because y'all don't have social cues and social skills, some of you all, and it's sad. And most of the people who are really making waves for the most part in the beef sector, they're Gen X. They're Gen X. They're Gen X. And so it just goes to show you, Mayor. What's up, Sparkles?
Hello, happy Black Excellence, my kings. Yes, I just want to say that. Thank y'all. Y'all looking good. Shout out to Gen X. Gen X is rated X for excellence. Okay.
That's
Yes,
it.
it's gonna be out look better than these millennials. Cause I don't know what's going on, honey.
And
But I don't know if
it's not all the millennials either, but
no,
what
it's
we're
most
seeing
of them.
here.
But you know what? You know what, Pastor Jay, what's going on, Lady Sparkles?
Hey,
One thing that I see, we are what in the seventh day? We are in the seventh day of Black History Month, right?
Hmm.
And one thing I can say, I have not seen not one person in no sector say anything about Black history. Not one thing. I haven't seen nobody
Now I've said things about Black history.
that. Yeah, I've seen. Yes, you have. Yes, you
Mm,
have. Because like I said, you brought up things as far as Black history goes.
yeah,
But
but they
I
don't know
haven't
the
seen not
struggle. They don't know
right,
the struggle,
right.
or
Like I
they
said,
don't, either they don't know the struggle or they don't care about the struggle.
and I think is that I think it's the fact that they don't care about the struggle. It's been some times. It's been some times. Yeah, like I said, I'm 56. I'll be 57 this year. It's been some times where yeah, I can retire if I wanted to, but I'm not gonna. I can't sit around and be online 15, 16, 7, 24-hour shifts in a day, especially if it's not paying me. I've been like I said, I come from that blue collar age. My mother worked in the plant, my father worked in the plant, my cousins, my family's always been blue collar. You know what I'm saying? And getting it out the mud. I'm a hands-on type of person. If I'm fixing something, I want to know why does it work? How does it work? What can I do to repair it? I look at, if I'm not, most of my time, I'm looking at different type of tools. I'm looking at how to fix a truck because, like I said, these big engine trucks, there's so many different engines as far as these trucks goes. Trying to learn how to fix them, trying to learn how to tear them apart, how to repair them, and to get the customer out. Because I look at it like this: I don't care how much technology you have out here today and doing this and doing that, you are not going to have a infrastructure if you don't have trucks. If you don't have these semi trucks out here bringing your goods and services to you, you're not going to have anything. You can't live without it because yeah, you can have it shipped in, you can have a rail card in, but the thing about it is when you have a rail card in, who's gonna pick up them items? A truck. Who are you gonna need
Yep.
to fix them?
What,
A
man,
truck.
though, you know
Yeah.
what, though? But this is the thing. You were a Marines. You
Mm-hmm.
got out. You worked with Ford. I'm sure you had many positions at Ford. Then
Yes.
you got your CDL.
Mm-hmm.
And from driving the trucks now to fixing the trucks. Again,
Yes.
Mayor, you have skill sets. I came out, I worked retail in high school. I
Mm-hmm.
played for a lot of churches. So I have that music background.
Right.
Then I went into work in the higher ed. Then I went into clergy with chaplaincy. And all I'm saying with this is what Mayor is demonstrating and saying without even saying it is that I have options.
Hmm.
I have made choices, so I'm not stuck. It amazes
Right.
me that people didn't think I was gonna get a job. Are you serious? A black man that can pass a piss test and don't have a
And
criminal
yeah,
background, you can
yes,
write your ticket. I will
yes,
never be hungry. Do you understand
yes,
me? Because
yep.
A, I don't do drugs, and B, I don't have a criminal record.
And if you can pass those, you can go. I'm telling you right now, I've had so many different background checks and anything, and everything always comes back clear. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you get up here and and you accuse somebody or implicate somebody of being a PDF, and you try to put that jacket on them, it's on for life. You know what I'm saying? Because of the simple
But you
fact that
can't. But you can't even put it on unless there is evidence and charges. This is what I say
right,
to these people. So,
right,
like I said, and I'm going to say this. So, again, you all, I look at a lot of stuff that you all say, even people in the community. So, I think somebody said that the mayor and somebody, they're questioning these guys who's over here. And my question is this, and no slight to you, mayor, but this deals with me now. So I'm saying to them, okay, I know the mayor is a heterosexual man. I'm not going to
yes,
say anything that he's not. But if he were not heterosexual, does that make him less than a person? Because when you try to use that as a derogatory thing towards him, then you're telling me that I am not worth shit and I'm not worth XYZ. And I don't see it that way. And I know it's not that way. And this is why I get with a lot of gay men as well, always throwing out derogatory terms. And I'm like, this is why I believe that there's a lot of self hatred in the community, not only in the LGBTQIA community, but in the black community as well, for what we call each other. How dare you call somebody Chris because they're dark? Are you serious? You are
right.
black.
Right. Let me say something, Pat. Let me say something, Pastor. I don't look at you as far as your sexuality goes. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody knows that my brother is gay, and yet still that's still my brother, and I'm always gonna love him, regardless of his sexuality. You know what I'm saying? Um,
Hmm.
I don't look at you like that. I look at you. You know what I look at you as? I look at you as a man, and the fact that you can get up every day, go to work, take care of your house, take care of your household, take care of your family, and do your thing. And the reason why I respect you is because the fact that you go out there and you show it, you go out there and you do it, you go out there and get it. And so I look at you, I don't look at your sexuality. I look at you as you're a man. And the fact that you're a black man and the fact that two men, regardless of our sexualities, that we can come up here and we can talk to each other with respect. We can learn from one another regardless. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, you go out here, you do this, and congratulations on your promotions and your will to succeed and to get to a higher position. So I wish you nothing but the best. But see, we don't like to hear that. We don't want to hear that. We want to hear about all the F stuff that's going around. You know what I'm saying? So we want to learn about how can I take this person down. We are so busy knocking people's pages down and and taking away their monetizations, their livelihoods and things like that. And then pretty soon it's gonna be nobody that's gonna go live because or if somebody does go live, they're gonna put their video either on private, they're gonna turn off the red bar, or they're gonna delete it. Because for what? Because why am I gonna go out here, put my hard work out here just for you to flag it or for you to get up here and you want to take away my monetization or anything like that.
Yeah, and like I said, the mayor, I agree with you. And can I say this? The mayor don't have to agree with me on everything. I'm sure there are a lot of things we do not agree on. But one thing I will say is the mayor and I can have this conversation. See, I can't have this conversation with Ghetto Intellect or what's his name, ZX, because again, when you think that I'm less than you or you gonna try to low key shade me and you don't think that I'm going to come back and get active with you, you're very wrong. And like the mayor said, my sexuality don't have nothing to do with my manhood. Who I love don't have nothing to do with me being a man, because I am. And as a man, you're not going to disrespect me, and we can have a conversation. A lot of people go left with me because, again, I'm already amped and ready. I'm already knowing where you're gonna go. And so soon as you step across that line, I don't give you a chance to continue to do that. So the mayor and I can have this conversation. Mayor, I'm sure your brother is doing what he needs to do. I'm sure that your brother works and do what he needs to do as well. It don't have nothing to do with who he sleeps with or who he loves. I don't know your brother personally, but if your brother is anything like you, it seems like that your brother would be a person who would be a go-getter as well. Am I right in
Yes,
that assessment? I could be wrong.
yes,
Yes.
yes. You're
Yes.
very right in your assessment. And the thing about it is this: is that my brother doesn't even know I even do YouTube. I keep that, and like I said, I keep my life private. You know what I'm saying? I know sometimes that I may say some things or this, that, or the other. But one thing I don't do, I don't try to get none of my family involved with any of my social media aspects.
Well, you shouldn't. You shouldn't.
Right.
When YouTube first came out, you wanted to share with people, but you
Mm-hmm.
cannot,
Yep.
because most of these people, not all, but most of them, they don't. Their whole job is to destroy, to rip. They get happiness out of division and subtraction. They're not the
Yes.
type of addition and multiplication type people. And so, yeah, and I'm glad the mayor and I are having this conversation, because at the end of the day, a lot of gay men are always accusing, trying to make straight men gay, or we're scared of straight men. No, I'm not scared of anyone. But if you can have a conversation like me and the mayor are having, see, we'll have great times. We'll have great conversation. A lot of times, too, Mayor, a lot of people are not interested in this because I'm not cursing you out. I'm not calling you out your name.
Exactly.
So,
Exactly.
because this is not salacious, it's not popular.
Right. Right. If it doesn't have anything to do with drama, then folks don't want to listen to it. If you can have, for once, it's 7 days in a week. You can have at least one, maybe 2 days of having some type of positive energy being put out there instead of everything being negative, everything being drama filled. I'm gonna knock your channel down. I'm gonna do this and do that. What I find, what is so funny, or what is so concerning, is that two black men can't sit down and have a positive conversation with one another if it's talking about anything or everything. That's the point that regardless, like I say, if I come over here, I know a lot of people don't like me, and I'm cool with that, because guess what? 90.99, I won't meet 99.9% of you folks, and I'm cool with that. Is there some folks that I would like to meet? Yes. Is there some folks that I like to collab with? Yes. Because right now I'm going back to my fragrance thing. You know what I'm saying? I'm waiting for some packages to come in today. Like I said, I've amassed a nice collection of colognes. But the thing about it is this: everybody thinks that you've got to spend $200, $300, $400. I'm not spending $200, $300, $400 on scented water. I'm sorry. I'm not going to do that.
Well, Mayor, it's about being practical. Somebody just told me that Ghetto Intellect makes more money and I'm broke because I travel an hour to work. And I'm like, okay, I travel an hour to work because I live in Texas and there's no public transit. You got to have a car, and any of your jobs can be 30 to an hour away. That's typical here. But my thing is, I'm like, here's a man who's supposed to be accomplished. And again, I don't get off on comparing people. I'm proud of the mayor because the brother spent 30 years on a career. And that's something to note. You don't ever hear me hating on people who are invested in themselves. Now,
Right.
usually you will hear me really go in on people who ain't doing shit and want to act like because you doing something that you think you're better than they are. Those are the people I usually talk about because, again, you haven't invested in yourself.
Well, you
And
know one thing. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. My
go
bad,
ahead,
Miss J.
go ahead, Mayor.
No, what I was gonna say is that during those 30 years at Ford, I went to I went to four different plants. I've been to four different Ford plants. Like I said, I transferred to Chicago. I lived in Chicago for 6 years. Came back, in my last 8 years, I spent, at the Rouge Complex. During that time that I've been at Ford, I got my college degree. I have a bachelor's in business management. So that's something I can be proud of myself, because like I said, going to work, going to school, you know, full time, even doing overtime. I went to school, got my business degree, and I can use my business degree if I want to. But like I said, I stood in the plant because, like I said, that's where I was making my money at. Uh, this thing, as far as the ghetto goes, me and ghetto get along to a point, and I put it like this: I don't care what anybody says or what anybody does. If you get up here and you cost me my livelihood to where I can't put food on the table, close my back, or roof over my head, it's up and it's stuck for life. Now, what did you do to get you did something stupid. You did what you did, but yet and still, what was the end result of you doing that? I mean, does that make you feel good about yourself? Because this man was out here helping the younger kids, better themselves as far as education goes. And
Mm,
you decide to take it upon yourself to cost this man his livelihood and his career. And
but
this
that's what they
person
do.
had right, and this person has done this to several people. And like I said before, your judgment day will come when you're going to meet your maker. Your judgment day is going to come where you're going to have to make atones for all your sins that you have done. Like I said, and all of us ain't perfect, and there's no guilty parties out here. You can't call
Yeah,
this. You're not a victim. You're a willing participant. You know what I'm saying? But yet and
yeah,
still, we can't keep things YouTube. We can't
yeah.
keep things YouTube. Just
We
like
can't. We can't.
right, just
Let
like
me
how
let
they
me
were
say
talking.
this.
Yeah,
Let me
go
say
ahead.
this about Castro. I'm really again pulling back from that as well because obviously what I say really adversely affects Castro to the point where he gets very upset, and I don't want to cause him on Black History any duress. So I'm really trying not to engage him in that manner. I see him dropping down in the chat, and I see him, and I haven't mentioned him because yeah, yeah, I don't want to cause him any duress, but I still will encourage Castro to invest in himself. And yeah, and I'm not going to stop saying that. If you don't think any better of yourself, then you won't do no better.
Well,
So
Pastor,
yeah,
um, I see that it must be nice and warm down there where you at. What's the temperature down there?
it's 81 degrees.
Wow.
It's
Turn
81
that
degrees.
number. Turn that number around. That's what our temperature is.
I'm sure, and I hope people are not, in cars trying to survive. I hope that's not true. I just hope people are just taping from the car and not living in the car. That's my
Well,
prayer.
okay, that individual is does not live in his car. So let's just get that off the board. That person does not live in his car.
The
That
mayor is
person
not
that
going to get his $100. Trust me, he's not getting that $100. He's
I'm
not.
not going
So
I'm not going to get that, and I'm not even looking. I'm not going to say no more about that. It is what it is. Just know that this person is not a man of his word, and it is what it is. That's how I look at it.
yeah,
So we can go on from there. I mean, if I get it, it'd be a blessing. If I don't, it still be a blessing. just be a blessing that I'll never make a bet with you again. Because see, one thing that I do, I'm a man of my word. Like you said, like when me
Keep on,
and
man. Keep on going. I got to do something. Keep on.
yeah, it's like when me and Annie met, and we met about what 5 or 6 years ago. And when that came about, everybody was talking about, when I betted her $50 that she would meet me. And we met. We met in downtown Detroit. I remember it was on a Monday night and the Lions were playing the Packers. And we met right outside of Sweetwater Tavern, which is in downtown Detroit. I saw her, she saw me, and I made good on my bet. And I went from there. But so Pastor, when you go to Zara today, make sure you hit their fragrance department because they got some good fragrances up in there. Tell you that much right now. That is a lot of things I've been hearing good about Zara. So we don't have a Zara. I don't think we have a Zara up here. But if you do get a chance, go check out their colognes and the fact that they have some colognes at some real nice prices. I want to say under
You,
$100.
you know what, man? Though, but
Mhm.
I have a place where I get my colognes,
Okay.
and I'm like you. I'm not paying full retail price. I
Right.
refuse. Like you said, I have really. I really like the Middle Eastern fragrances from
Yep.
Saudi, like the Assads.
Yep.
They
Hmm.
smell really good. And no, they're not a whole lot of money, but they
Yep.
smell very good. So I'm getting like the Assad fragrances, Supremacy, the Oud. They have a really good Oud, and they are really good smelling fragrances. So I'm looking at that. Occasionally, I will get, now I'll still get some nice fragrances. I actually got Burberry Hero. I think that's
Oh
the
yeah,
name
that's a
of
good
it.
one.
Smells
Yeah,
extremely
Burberry here.
good. I
Yep.
still do Pasha Sport by Pierre Cartier.
Hmm.
Um, Bad Boy Carolina Herrera was good. I'm not on that. I'm not going to get that again. I will still get Dylan Blue by Versace. I think that's a
Okay.
good fragrance. Azaro Wanted is still good.
Hmm.
Um, Vince Camuto Oud is good.
Hmm.
And now I'm like I said, I'm getting different types of colognes. And again, they may not be known because I'm
Oh
like you.
yeah.
You're paying for these names. I would never spend all of that money on Creed. For what?
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, because
yeah, you
you got your
spend
Latafas,
$500.
you got your Hawass, you got your Mason Alhambras, you got your Afnan. I don't know if you like fresh fragrances or what kind of fragrances do you like? I mean, do you like
You know what? I have a variety. So, in the
okay.
summer, I like a really clean, fresh smell.
Hmm.
But
Yeah.
then I do like a good oud with a good woody type
Yep.
of smell. I can do the spicy all to the clean. Now, I don't like something that's so clean that you can't smell it, but,
Right.
I like a good clean fragrance as well. So, but I am
Okay.
going to say the Middle Eastern ones that you just mentioned,
Oh yeah. They killing
they
it. They
they
killing the game.
they're killing it, and they're not expensive. And that's the thing;
Right.
they're not expensive. They're
Okay.
not
Let
expensive.
me let me make a recommendation for you. Um, I picked up one. It cost me what? How much did this cost me? $30 by Hawass. It's called Hawass Cobra. Kobra. Hawass Cobra. It comes in a black bottle. Hawass. Their whole lineup is great. Um,
Ross,
if you
Assad, like you said, all of those.
uh,
Yeah.
mhm. um, Hawass Cobra smells like Louis Vuitton Imagination.
Wow.
And like I said, and Louis Vuitton was the most cologne fragrance of last year. If the year before was Angel Share, they did Angel Share, and then the year before that was Baccarat Rouge 540.
Okay.
Um,
I'm gonna try that. Joe Malone is gaining a lot of traction, but
oh
again,
yeah, yeah,
Joe Malone is expensive as hell, and so one cologne that I heard they're bringing back, and I knew they were going to have to bring back, was Mugler's Amen. Man,
Yeah.
Mugler's Amen. It had a chocolatey smell to it. It was a really,
Hmm.
and that's one of my favorite smells too because it's really different.
Right.
So again,
Right.
I'm very open when it comes to colognes. I'm very
Hmm.
open, but yeah. So, but yeah, so they have a
Um.
lot of stuff. But Mayor, like I said, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm as you see now, I'm a big bag person now.
Yeah. I see that. I
So
see that. I see that you've been
I'm a
buying.
big
I see
bag
that you've
person
been.
now.
Yeah.
But I am going to get a Goyer bag, but it has to have leather. One thing is I don't like the Louis Vuitton uh, canvas with the moniker with the monogram on it rather.
Hmm.
So I
Right.
don't. So yeah, but because again, a lot of that stuff is not leather. It is durable, heavy duty plastic that people are
Right.
buying. The only thing they're buying is the LV.
Hmm.
To be
And then you
honest.
and then you know that a lot of people don't realize is that when you buy when you buy a lot of these designer bags, designer clothes, anything, um, until you put until you put that LV on there, that's when the price goes up.
That's
When
it.
you
A
put that,
lot of these places, a lot of these bags are made in the same factories.
they are. Believe it or not, you know that they are. They're made, and what they do is that they have different shifts in which to make their products. Um, when people buy these purses, your bags, your shoes, and all that, they're all made in the same factory. They're all made in the same factory, and then what happens is that okay, you did your 8 hour shift. Now it's time for us to come in. So say that Louis Vuitton comes in, they do their 8 hours. Then Chanel comes in, they'll do their 8 hours in Dior. Then and it's all a cycle. You know what I'm saying? It's
Oh
all a
yeah.
cycle. So, but the thing about it is that until the only thing that has the value is not the bag. The bag has nothing to do with it. It's when you put that label on there. It's when you put that brand on there. When you put that Gucci symbol on there. When you put that LV symbol on there. When you put that on there, that's when the price of the bag goes up.
And in the brand, that's what you're paying for, the branding and the experience. And this is what people get
Mhm.
caught up into. And
Right,
the wealthy, they don't want to be a walking billboard. So
right,
you won't see them with LV all over the place. Now they'll get Louis Vuitton, they'll get all of these things, but the
it's
moniker
subtle. It's
is going to be
subtle.
very subtle. Also, too, they look for quality. So I just
Hmm.
went and bought a bag from Fossil, and
Hmm.
Fossil has some nice bags, and I just got a bag from Fossil. Um, it's this guy. His name is Leather Tannerstein. When I tell you that man is thorough, if you really want to know quality, how to buy, how to look, check this man out. He cuts bags open. He looks at the interior of it, and a few things that I have really gotten from him that helps me when I'm looking for bags. Because again, some bags, you may not want that. You may just want the look, and that's fine. But I just bought a Furla bag for my other half's mom, and that Furla bag was pebble leather with suede interior. And when I tell you the hardware was heavy as hell on that bag, that just from that little bit is quality. So he'll go
Hmm.
through and he just did a comparison between Coach and Louis Vuitton and some of their popular bags, and he was like,
Right.
"It's no difference. The only thing
It is.
is the naming, the
Yep.
branding. That's the only difference. The branding,
Yep.
the branding." So he likes
Hmm.
Louis Vuitton's hardware a little bit better, but it's the branding. So I'm saying all of this to tell you all that make sure you're dealing with quality. Now, they have a Chinese brand called Sungbon, I believe. And is it Bon? Yeah, I think that's the name of it, but extremely good quality. Jumping on to something else too, Mayor. Now, I don't know how you
Hmm.
feel because you were a Detroit auto man, but I heard that these new Chinese cars ain't nothing to play with. And they said if they would get in the market, they would take a lot of American uh, car manufacturers out. And I mean,
Okay.
they said that the pricing, the technology, all of
Hmm.
that, they said these Chinese manufacturers are not playing. What are your thoughts on that?
Okay. That's a great question. I'm glad you brought that up. A lot of these cars that's coming from overseas, correct? Yeah, the technology is good and all that, but if you look, the one main thing that you're gonna have a problem with a lot of these foreign cars is not only the technology, but the engines. The engines aren't worth shit. If you look, okay, Hyundai, Kia, yeah, they make some nice cars. Yeah.
Now,
And the
look,
thing
I'm
about
not
it,
talking about the ones that are here. So let me give you an example. If you go on YouTube,
hmm,
um, Canada is letting a lot of Chinese cars in the market. So a
yes.
lot of cars that they have in Canada, we cannot get in the United States. But I'm
Hmm.
looking at these cars. I mean, to the technology where the cars can just shuffle into parking. You don't even have to do. I mean, I'm looking at the technology. I'm looking. I mean, they're making Teslas look like play school. How do you compete against that? And do you think the United States is protecting the car manufacturers from the Chinese because they're afraid that if the Chinese were given
Yes.
American market, that they would
Yes.
dominate?
Yes. Yes. And that's what you're supposed to do. You
Okay.
you're not supposed to let your competitor come in and run everybody else out of business. I
And this is the
mean,
thing. But when the
mm-hmm,
competitor has a product that the people want, then
mm-hmm,
that should prompt the Americans to even be more on their game because I'm
exactly.
about fair competition. But when your
Mm-hmm,
Teslas look like preschool compared to these Chinese cars, which I saw on YouTube, it ain't no joke. So I
right.
believe that I don't want our car industry to be decimated. But
Mm-hmm.
dang, I'm looking at the technology and I'm like, that's some damn good technology.
Okay, but do you know? But let me one thing. Do you know our competitors, our foreign competitors? A lot of these countries will not let American cars come into their countries.
I got it. And I
So
understand
it.
that. I know Chinese
Mhm.
are very protective as well.
The Japanese are very protective as far as what they let in. Um, when like okay, the BMW plant that's in South Carolina, right?
Mhm.
They make majority of your X series, like your X5, your X7, your X3s, things like that. So when they ship these cars back over to Japan, China, wherever, when if you piss off that country, right, and say that you got a shipload of cars that's ready to be taken off, do you know they can tell? Do you know they tell them guys, hey, let that ship stay out there. They'll close off. They'll close off the country, and a lot of people don't realize that. So
Oh
even
yeah,
though, yeah, yeah, they'll shut off the country. They'll see us and say, no, we don't want it, for the simple fact that it was built in America. Even though the majority of the parts, and a lot of people don't realize, the majority of your car parts are built in different countries. Like Ford, majority of their trucks, the majority of their trucks are built in Mexico. We get a lot of our car parts from Mexico. You know what I'm saying?
oh yeah, oh yeah.
And
Well, but what do you do when you have Toyota plants all over the United States? Because even right
mhm,
here in San Antonio, the Tacoma and the Tundra is
yep,
built in San Antonio.
yep. And the thing about it is that but before, Texas used to be Chevy country, the Silverados, the things like that. And
Oh, they still buy them. Don't get me wrong,
right,
but
right,
Toyota has come in and yeah.
yeah. But I'll tell anybody this: when you buy a foreign car, can you maintain the foreign upkeep? where if you go to the shop and you get an oil
Hmm.
change for an American car may run you probably less than $100. You take your car to get an oil change for a BMW or a Mercedes or anything like that, that's gonna run you about $300 or $400. You know what I'm saying? That's why I tell anybody, if you're gonna buy a foreign car, be prepared for the foreign upkeep. Now, don't get me wrong, you do have some high-end American cars like the Cadillacs and things like that that will command a pretty penny as far as the upkeep and repair if you take them to the dealership. See, what they're doing now is that they're making cars now where the average mechanic cannot fix them.
Yeah, with the electronic components as
But
well. But let me tell you
yeah,
something. Cadillac needs to come up because their electric vehicle.
hmm
And again, when your mechanics don't know how to fix the battery, I know somebody who won a big settlement from Cadillac
hmm
because they had all of their information and their ducks in a row, and Cadillac tried to stiff them, and I'm like, you need to get a lawyer because how are you under warranty? They know that this is a defective battery,
hmm
and now they're trying to make you pay for this. No,
yep,
they need to pay you off. They should have gave you another car or a car at a cheaper price, but they didn't. So now, because again, these companies gonna do everything not to pay you. But
right,
yeah, right,
right.
yeah,
That's like a friend of mine has a GM product, right?
uh-huh.
Now, you remember I said, and if you have ever had to change the light bulb on your headlights on your car, usually you just open up your hood, see where your headlight is at, turn the thing, pull it out,
Yeah,
and there's the light. There's the
can't do
light.
that no more.
Can't do it no more with the GM cars and with the GMs. And to me, I don't know. And to me, GM did this on purpose. With the GM cars, with your Buicks, anything like that, you have to take off the front end of the car in order to get to the light bulb. I have a friend right now. They want me to change their light bulb. It's going to take that's a hour and a half just to take off the front end. Where with my Ford, it take me 10 minutes.
Wow. Wow. So
Um,
you all, what we're talking about really is quality
mhm.
and knowing what to buy. We've gone from sets to bags to cars to foreign competition to all of these things. And again, I know this may be boring to some people, but again, it's Black History. I'm really trying to avoid having confrontations with people. But again, mayor can come up here, and I want to say this to any man, gay or straight. We can have these conversations. A lot of you all can't help it because your dislike or hate for me will not allow you to have a decent conversation. And then people always want to go left. And that's where we have the problem. And so, again, y'all, the mayor can come up here and we can have this conversation
And I
because
appreciate
and I
that.
appreciate we do that. And that's what we do. And I do respect the mayor. I respect Uncle Claude. There are a lot of guys who I do respect that can come up here and we can have a serious conversation. So you know who you are, but I can't do that. I mean, even with ghetto intellect, it's hit and miss. It's hit and miss. It's hit and miss with that dude because again, when you play the court gesture all the time, sometimes you can't do that. Um, yeah, it's a couple of guys that I'm like, nah. But yeah, so look, y'all, the mayor is doing his thing. Mayor, keep checking for me, man, because if you find
Yeah.
something that's really good, like I
Oh yeah.
said, we'll make that happen. And do you not know that? Well, you know this probably, but Amtrak goes all the way from San Antonio to Chicago to Detroit. So
Yeah.
again, don't sleep on the train. You
Yeah.
can, but what I mean is the train is phenomenal. And so I got 2 train rides set up for this year, and I'm pretty stoked about it.
Yeah. Like I said, before we had airplanes, we had trains, and the trains, like I said, you had cross countries. The one thing that I want to do that I have on my bucket list is that I want to go and take that train ride that goes through that goes up in Alaska. You know the
Oh,
train line. Yeah, that's one thing on my bucket list. And another thing is, like I said, my aunt she took the train from Detroit all the way to New Mexico.
you can, and
Yeah,
Houston.
yeah,
So you can take that. It's a train that goes all the way from, I think it goes Detroit, Chicago, all the way down to San Antonio, and then you switch the train in San Antonio and catch that train to Houston. So San Antonio is a hub for quite a few train outlets. So if you're going east to west, San Antonio has it's a hub, and then the north to south corridor, San Antonio is a hub. So just
right.
to let y'all know that. Well, look, you all, man, I gotta go because I
Yeah,
just made it
yeah.
to this. Look, I just made it to my
Your brunch spot.
uh my brunch, man. So let me get
Yeah.
on there. But thank you, Mayor, for coming on up. Y'all have a good
Appreciate
one.
you for
I'll be
having me
back
up.
later on. All right, not a
All right.
problem. Have a good one. Peace and love.
Peace.
Bye.
Peace.